If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, well, I'd buy you a house. I would buy you a house.
That's the whole song. We don't need to hear any more.
Oh, wow, this is good. Welcome, everyone. This is Araceli, Transition Wealth Advisor and Real Estate Investor in the US and Canada. Colette just played this song, and I thought it was very appropriate for what we're talking today. So, Colette, can you introduce yourself and tell us exactly what the song was about?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Colette Raba. I am a real estate broker in the GTA, Ontario, Canada. GTA stands for Greater Toronto Area, but I go anywhere west. Mississauga, that's my specialty, Brampton, Burlington, and wherever else you're interested in. You can always call and chat. And that's why Araceli and I love to do the show, because we love investing.
Yeah.
And we get questions all the time about, what do? I have $1 million. Oh my gosh, poor thing. How did you get $1 million?
Exactly. Oh my God, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah. So I thought, well, it's just like that song. Bare Naked Ladies came out with this wonderful song years and years ago. And the first line of the song is, I would buy you a house. So that's all you need to do with $1 million. Thank you for joining us. The show is over.
Well, it's a little bit more than that. If you happen to get $1 million, whether you inherit it, whether you accumulated it, whether
well, even if you can qualify to borrow $1 million,
or you won the lottery as well, right? It's all possible. But sometimes, in some cases, whether it's $1 million more or less, some people come into money and they don't know what to do with it, right? So there is a few options. Obviously, the very first thing that I truly believe in is that if you buy property, it's the best place to invest your money. However, you also have to have a plan. You have to have a plan, right?
Yeah, both of us agree with that. We both have had success buying and selling real estate.
Yeah.
You have to absolutely have your plan. That's what we're here for. We'd like to discuss plans.
Yeah.
And even if you don't have $1 million, this is, we're just joking around about the song. But honestly, in the States, you're lucky enough to not have to have $1 million to buy a house.
Well, depends where you go. At least where I invest in Ohio, you don't need that much money. However, if you're investing or you want to buy something in Ontario, you definitely need $1 million plus.
Well, yeah, and it's not just where Araceli is. Of course, she can buy a house for $1 million, but her $1 million is going to go a lot further when it comes to house buying than it is in Canada right now. Same thing with other parts of Canada, other parts of the US. There are real prime real estate that you can spend obviously way more than $1 million. But $1 million is something that I don't know why it's that million that people just tend to say, like that's the goal is like, okay, I have $1 million now. What do I do with it?
Yeah. So in some cases, you may have to buy $1 million house if you are in Ontario.
That's right.
You not have all of the $1 million, but you need to qualify to borrow depending on how much money you have for a down payment. But remember, always is everything touches money, and this is, that already.
Right.
The first thing is you need to know your circumstances, your current situation. What exactly is it, what you want to accomplish with this money in the long run, and that is going to give you the best benefit. Because, you can have $1 million and buy a Maserati or buy a big screen TV, but is that going to help you, right?
I was just going to say that because $1 million could get you a franchise business.
Yeah.
A successful franchise business. So when it comes to talking to the right people, and this is the thing too, it's overwhelming. So let's just say you got $1 million from the lottery. It's overwhelming to think that, okay, I can do 500 things with it. So what exactly do you want to do with it? And how do you come up with that plan?
Yeah.
So somebody like Araceli who can sit down with you and do that financial plan is something that we highly, highly recommend that you do that. And the other thing too is, no offense, you can get a second opinion and a third opinion. but be careful who you ask, because if you ask your brother, sister, cousin, whoever, they'll be like, oh, I'll take your $1 million. Sure, I'll help you with
Make
that.
sure you ask a professional. You know, I'm not saying don't listen to your brother, sister, or friend, but they don't have a professional opinion. And even if they have done anything in the past that worked for them, it might not necessarily be something that is for your particular situation. So that's why it's best to talk to a professional, that they can look at everything. First of all, what you have, what is coming in, and what you want to accomplish. Where are you in life? Because if you're 25 years old, it's not going to be the same plan that somebody that is 45 or 55 years old. So you have to be mindful of what stage in life you are in. What do you want to accomplish? What is important to you? How can you accomplish that? And that's what it's all about. That's what money can give you. So it's not about buying properties. I have seen so many people that continue to buy properties, but they're cash poor today. They don't even have money to furnish the properties.
Or they lose the property because they've made bad
Exactly. They
investments.
have been so maxed out. So
Yeah.
that's what the plan is. And I always tell the people that work with me in my courses that you need to live today, right? And it is super important, of course, to have a plan and to buy property. But you don't have to kill yourself to buy the property if it's going to affect your current circumstances, your current lifestyle, and you're going to be so tight that you can't do anything.
Okay,
So,
I have a good question.
yeah.
What would you do if you had $1 million?
Oh, well, you know that I do a lot of flipping and I do rentals. And so the first thing is, in my opinion, as my plan, is to replace all the income that I need to live on. And the reason is because if you have that money coming in
For how long?
for forever.
Okay, so well, it's hard to say. So if I'm going to live off of, let's say, $100,000 a year, that's
Yep.
only 10 years.
Oh, okay. So I know what you're
Is that what
talking
you
about.
mean? Okay.
So basically, the money that you're coming in, let's say that you require $5,000 a month.
Okay.
And you have, if you want to do it through rental income. So now you're going to have to figure out, do I get a triplex? Do I get a fourplex, a sixplex, or I'll buy 3 or 4 single family houses, right?
Or you still, so what Araceli is, take care of yourself first. So is that
Yes.
right?
Always,
So
always.
say, okay, if I need $50,000 a year to live, then you could say, okay, by the time I see an income from the first house, you know, coming back, because it might take a year to rehab it or renovate it
Yep.
or flip it. So I need to give myself at least $50,000 to live on.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, there's different strategies, Colette, here, because if you are having an influx of money, in this case, you know, we're talking about $1 million, right? So then now you have to figure out, okay, so where am I going to invest this money? Am I okay today with what I have, or do I want to replace it so I can retire? So there's many questions that you need to answer, but I'm just going to assume here that you are going to replace the current income. And, you know, $4,000, $5,000 is just, you know, fairly easy to.
Average.
Yeah. And it's average as well. So
Or
what you do
actually
is,
it's below.
I
Yeah,
would put a plan in place to have, let's say, 2 or 3 properties that will bring my $5,000 net that I need every month.
Okay.
And then with the remaining of the money, then I would say either I would do more flips to accumulate more money, or maybe that money will be, you know, put aside to travel or to help my family, whatever it is important to you. Maybe if you have children, you want to buy a property for them and give it to them. So there's many options, but the most important thing is that you have to take care of yourself, because if you have money and you're in a good place, guess what? You're going to be able to be creative. You're going to be able to work. You're going to be able to make more money. And with that money, you're going to be able to help whoever is important to you in your life, whether it's your children, your family, friend, even charity, if that's important to you. So that's why it's so important to be the owner of your money, grow it as much as you can.
So why I was asking you was to get the answer, which is it's different for everybody. So we're pretty much the same age. And I don't know if I would do the same thing, but
There you
that's
go.
why, that's the whole point of the show, is to make a plan, to really understand who you are, what your needs are, what your lifestyle is like, what you, maybe you don't have the energy to go and buy and sell and buy, and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh my gosh, it's just too much. I just want to invest in my nephew. He wants to start a business. I'll be partners with him, or whatever it is. Like, it could mean a million different
Correct. And
things.
there's also another, there's a lot of passive investors. I do get passive
Absolutely.
investors that you can actually lend your money and make it grow without you doing anything. So there's
Right.
many ways, but the thing is, it has to fit your lifestyle, has to fit your interest. For me, I think I'm going to continue to flip houses. I'm going to continue to get rentals because I love it. It's something that I just enjoy doing. I don't know if I'm going to do it forever, but I'm going to do it at least for the next 10, 15 years. And then after that, then you have options, how are
Yeah.
you going to dispose of this? How are you going to move them? Are you going to give them to your family members as a legacy? There's many options, but if you don't build it, then you have no options, right?
Right. So, and this is the interesting thing too, because just, you didn't ask me, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Okay, tell me.
What I would do with $1 million. And I don't have the answer. I haven't actually planned to do that, but I don't think my lifestyle would change very much, because what I would do is I would max out my RRSPs. I would max out my savings first,
Yeah.
squirrel everything away so I can retire earlier. I can feel safe. I can do my funeral planning. I can do my burial. All that stuff costs money. I can, make sure, if you don't have a will already, make sure you get your will figured out, have who the executors are going to be, figure all that stuff out while you have money. Because, you can get hit by, knock on wood, you can get hit by a car tomorrow, but you have to find out all that stuff. Make sure your kids are taken care of. You are taken care of in the sense of, you're not going to be just like what Araceli says, worst case scenario, you buy all these houses and they all, there's a zombie plague and you lose all this money. How are you going to retire? How are you going to take care of yourself?
Yeah, so you actually hit a really good point there, Colette, because everybody has a very different level of risk tolerance. And you have to understand that. And you will do that with a professional. A professional will ask you questions to find out exactly where you are, because people that are very safety concerned, they want to have some money put aside, that no matter what happens, no matter what you do, you're always going to have that money to fall back onto. Some other people are more risky and they said, no, I'm going to invest everything so I can get more return in the end.
But you can do
have to
that
understand yourself.
That's why, when you talk to financial people, they always say, diversify. This is what it means. Like, you don't have to put everything all in one pile.
Absolutely.
You can put a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Really think about that. Have a plan. That's our whole point of this show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk to professionals about it. They will help you, and really, so you understand where the money is, how it's being taken, how it's growing, and you'll feel that sense of accomplishment, that you're not like, oh, I'm going to go crazy and buy everybody cars, like houses.
Yeah, absolutely. So there is always buy assets as much as you can. Of course, live your life. If you got, big money coming in as well, take a vacation. That's great. But plan ahead to take care of yourself forever. Because another thing that we didn't touch up on, Colette, is also people that are, getting older, maybe 40 plus, sometimes we're getting sick. Sometimes we're getting something that it's not something we thought about.
Accidents happen.
Maybe there's accidents happening as well. So how long do we have? Nobody knows. Nobody has a crystal ball. We know only when we come in, but we never know when we're going to go, right? So in the meantime, that's why you have to have some protection on yourself while you're building your wealth. So
absolutely. And protect the people around you. So I like when you said that too. If you have family, if you have friends that you want to take care of, $1 million, you'll realize it's going to go like that. So be very careful.
Very fast.
Get your professionals to help you. We're here for you too. If you have any questions, please let us know. If we need to answer something else for you, comment. We would love to do a show about it if we haven't spoken about it already. But yeah, please like, subscribe, ask us your questions, and keep watching. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you, Colette, and we will see you in the next one. So remember, if you get any extra money coming in, the best thing that you can do is organize yourself, talk to a professional, so you can get the best out of that money for your future, for yourself.
Long,
Okay?
absolutely.
So we'll see you next week.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you, Lucia.
If I had $1 million, if I had $1 million, buy you furniture for your house, maybe a nice Chesterfield.
Thank you for being here on the show. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when there are more shows available. And if you would like to have more information on how to start investing in real estate, please visit my website at www.aracelihernandez.com. Thank you.